Hey yo, what's decent? Yo, I got a crazy Wi-Fi match that I had last week, I believe. And this is, as far as I'm concerned, going to be the last X and Y episode, Pokemon-wise. I'm just going to be posting on my channel as far as I'm concerned because Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire are coming out to a theater near you. I'm so excited. Anyway, the first turn, I switch out with my Bouffalant because I was expecting his Azumarill to be faster because I don't run any speed investments on my Bouffalant. I'm 252 in HP and attack Choice Banded, so I thought maybe if he happened to be Choice Banded superpower, he could inflict a lot of damage to me. Hence why I switch out into Venusaur, which you see right now. Now, notice that Side Shot coming from Slowbro is not inflicting anything. I mean, it's a little under half, but at the same time, it's nothing Venusaur can't shake off. But the lack of Giga Drain, which I'm carrying right now, I don't have Giga Drain on my Venusaur, is causing me to switch out into my Bisharp. Hence, he switches out into his Mets. This is great, actually, because I'm actually able to get the Defiant boost. Me thinking that he was actually going to be a physical-oriented set, go onto Landorus just to intimidate it, because a +1 Sucker Punch, I'm having my little doubts, especially since I've had so much experience with Mega Salamence, so that kind of actually threw me off. I can't even remember if a +1 Sucker Punch coming from a Bisharp that's not Life Orb can finish off the Salamence, hence my switch out. And I'm going to go back into Venusaur. Venusaur meets its nemesis for this particular battle, which is the Amoonguss. This thing puts a stop to a lot of my ideas that I had during the playthrough of this whole battle here. So now he'll be able to recover. I mean, I have Synthesis over Giga Drain, which in this case scenario is really helping a lot, because if I had Giga Drain to rely on as my only means of recovery, that would mean that Venusaur is not going to recover much at all, especially since he has like Protect. He saw me out with the Black Sludge before he switches out, which is I'm thinking that he's going to do. He switches right back out into his Slowbro. I'm just going to go for the Sludge Bomb, hopefully and thankfully actually poison it, which is great. So I'm able to inflict some status impalements onto that. And now I'm just going to switch out because I know the Side Shock, or I at least think the Side Shock is coming. He's going to make a double switch out and back out into his Amoonguss, which is great. If he stays in, I can just go for a nice little knockoff, which will knock off his Black Sludge. But I'm having a little bit of doubts of him staying in. He switches right out into Azumarill as I switch back out into Venusaur, and I'm just gonna go for the Sludge Bomb on the Med switching, which is great. He shows me Draco Meteor, and as I've seen before, I thought that he was gonna be special oriented and go for the Draco Meteor, so I'm just gonna roost up, or rather go for the Synthesis to replenish my HP. And then afterwards, he's gonna switch right back out into Amoonguss. I'm telling you, this thing puts a stop, man, because if we did not have this thing to slow down my momentum, yo, he will be taking so much. So now I bring back in my Bouffalant because I figured this is a great time to bring back in Bouffalant. Bouffalant can destroy a lot of things on this party. I mean, Slowbro, Terrakion, look how much this head charge does. It's a 2-hit freaking KO on a Terrakion. Are you kidding me, bro? And now he's going to show me close combat as I intimidate him with the Lander switching, and it's the perfect optimal opportunity, I should say, to set up my rocks. I believe I'll lock out Mence if he doesn't switch it in right now, but he's going to switch it in right now, which is good, actually, because now that he has his Mence in, that means that he's going to inflict another attack on me. So all I have to do is bring in something to survive it, or maybe sacrifice something. He goes for the Dragon Pulse as I bring in my Bouffalant as sacrificial purposes, and now the Life Orb will inflict some damage onto it, and I'm just going to go for the obvious Sucker Punch, and I believe that Mence is locked out of the game for that reason. So he brings back in his Terrakion, and there's nothing I can really do about it, hence my obvious Sucker Punch is quite obvious, and I'm just going to go out into my Landorus again to intimidate it. Hopefully and thankfully he actually goes for the Earthquake as opposed to going for the Stone Edge, which I actually thought he was going to do. So I go for the Earthquake, and I knock out I actually almost knock out the Azumarill, which is great, as opposed to going for the U-turn like I really wanted to do. And now he goes for the Aqua Jet, and he's just going to switch out, and that's 3 Pokemon that he has weakened thus far, being his Mence, his Terrakion, and his Azumarill. So he brings back in his Wind Blocker. This is what I call his Wind Blocker, because as soon as he switches out, he replenishes a significant amount of HP, hence his recovery. I can't remember the name of the ability right now. His Regenerator ability. I played so many games, I can't remember right now. So forgive me, my commentary is a little bit throated. So I haven't really been playing Pokemon as much as I should have, but I'm definitely getting back into it, especially in the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So bear with me a little bit here, guys. I apologize again. But anyway, I've switched back in my Landorus on his men switching. I'm thinking that Mess is out of the game. Not quite. He intimidates me and he's living with like a sliver. So I'm like, what am I going to bring into this thing? I know he's going to Draco Meteor, but I don't even want my Bishop to take that. So I bring in my Hariyama, remembering that he does have the Assault Vest. Not going to knock it out, man. Hariyama showing some sturdy, man. Look at that. Boom. Put a stop to your plan. You thought you were gonna knock me out, man. I'll go for the knockoff, and he's just gonna go for the Scald, expecting me to switch out into my Bishop, which would have been a great optimal play for me, because if he went for the side shock, knocking out my Hariyama, that also gives me a free switch into my Bishop. So I knew that he was not gonna want to do that. I knock out Terrakian's Choice Scarf, but not that it even matters because it's not packing the quick attack, and I do pack the Bullet Punch, so that's great. I am Assault Vest, but I'm having a little bit of doubts, seeing if I can live a T-Boat. So I'm going to switch into my Dragalge, which also happens to be Assault Vest. And there's nothing. I'm sorry, even if Manectric has Hidden Power, Ground, Psychic, Ice, which it really should be carrying, Ice or not even Fire because it gets access to Overheat and Flamethrower. But Hidden Power Ice is not doing anything to Dragalge. I'm sorry, buddy. So now I'm just going to go for the Sludge Wave, and I'm just going to go for it again because I want to get off some chip damage on the Amogus. I know it's not going to want to stay in, and I know he's going to want to switch out to replenish HP, but this is the perfect bait because now if I were him, I would want to take this opportunity to switch out into my Slowbro so I can go for the Slack Off and replenish a little bit of HP, and that's exactly what he does. I bring in Bishop, which is great, so now if anything else comes in, it will get knocked off. This item will be completely gone. He decides to stay in and sacrifice his Slowbro, and now just bring in the Azumarill, me thinking that, you know, I don't really want anything inflicting onto Azumarill. I mean, onto the Bishop right away. I don't know why I'm so protective of Bishop. Oh, you know what it was? I knew that Azumarill won't be able to inflict anything onto the Venusaur, so I took this as an optimal? What is that? That's not even a word. Optimal chance for me to replenish my HP with Venusaur, because I remember I was outside during this bout and I was like, I didn't even write his team down. I don't even know what's left over. So I'm like, I want as much as my own personal threats to be fully healed as possible. So that's why instead of just finishing off with the Sucker Punch, I decided to switch in my Mega Venusaur and go for the Synthesis. I remember that now. I remember that play. So now he shows me Hidden Power Ice. Look at that, man. Dragalge eating that up. Retaliating back, critical hit you where it hurts. You can't do nothing no more. And his last Pokemon, I believe, is this annoying Azumarill, and he's gonna decide in this case scenario not to go for the Spore. He's like, you know what, it's already over. If I put something to sleep, he does have both Bishop and Dragalge, both in which both Giga Drain and Sludge Bomb is not inflicting any significant damage on upon, and that means that I'm gonna be able to claim good game, and that is right there the longest battle I've had thus far on Wi-Fi. I believe this was a 54 turn battle with the battles with Mega Venusaur and the whole Amogus thing going on there. So that was a great bout. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. If you guys enjoyed this, please drop a like. If you want to see more content like this in the future, please subscribe to me. It's awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day. Peace. What you doing?